All right, we'll do it live. Come into the room, come into the room, come into the room, come into the room, come into the room. All right, come into the room, please come into the room. We're talking about something that on the surface looks low vibrational. It definitely looks low vibrational. I know for me, it's something that I've always felt was kind of low vibrational topic, and that's why I've avoided talking about it in detail like this, right? I don't really have a video about the Pickmes. But it's time, okay? Because even low vibrational topics need to be talked about. And like I said, on the surface, this looks like a low vibrational topic, but I think that there are larger implications at play here for allowing this sort of mentality not just to fester and perpetuate, but to be told that this is the standard, this is the norm of how a woman should be, right? Because you have these women who are willing to role play this role of the Pickme, right? And so let's get straight into it. All right, what is a Pickme? I think we all know what a Pickme is. I think we all know that, but let's hear what Urban Dictionary has to say. All right, which is a credible source in low vibrational topics. Urban Dictionary. According to Urban Dictionary, a Pickme girl, is a girl who seeks male validation by indirectly or directly insinuating that she is not like the other girls, right? She's not like the other girls. She's got something else to offer. She's got the right answer, right? She's perfect. She's perfect because she doesn't do any of the things, right, that men dislike about women. She doesn't do any of them. Another definition of a Pickme: someone that deliberately exhibits behavior that attempts to appease others, most often the opposite sex, whilst acting as if they're completely unaware that this is what they're doing, even though they definitely are. Now, I like that definition. I'm going to say that again throughout the course of this podcast. So if you're in the room, welcome to DanieSteel. I am DanieSteel. This is DanieSteel, home of the purple print. Okay, one of the only known solution makers on YouTube. And that's really point blank, period. If you're not familiar with my work, I make content. Right now, I'm in a podcast phase as I'm revamping things behind the scenes. But I have a lot of content on how you can empower yourself, how you can help yourself through trauma and bouts of anxiety. These are things that I focus on. I focus on healing, and not just this in this arbitrary way that a lot of other people will speak on when they speak on healing, but actually solutions that I have employed that I believe, without a shadow of a doubt, saved my life. Okay? Saved my life. And, I'm interested in paying that forward. And I wanted to delve into the topic of the Pickmes because, there were some women that I was like, oh, I like her, right? I like a beautiful woman. All right. I love to see beautiful Black women doing their thing, But I quickly realized, like, oh, they're actually a Pickme, right? And some Pickmes are more obvious than others. Right? Some Pickmes are very blatant. I'm particularly interested in the Pickmes that believe, because here's my thing. If you want to be a Pickme, that's totally fine. That's totally, like, I could care less. If you want to be a Pickme, go ahead, be a Pickme. Good luck. Good luck. Because you're working with a pathology, right? This mentality of dust. That is your foundation. You have a foundation of dust when you are a Pickme, especially in Blackistan. Especially in Blackistan. You are on a foundation of dust, dear, and you know it. And you know this. They'll use the worst statistics, throw themselves under the bus, these Pickmes. These Pickmes will throw themselves under the bus to prove a statistic correct, right? About why most women aren't worthy, or they're doing something bad, or they're doing something wrong. They're making dating and they're making access to sex more difficult for the dustmen, right? And so these women have joined on board with these guys to be like, why are you making this more difficult? Baby, if it's difficult, you know what you do? You know what you do when times get tough? You evolve. Or you perish. You don't complain. So the dustmen have gotten these Pickmes on their team. And the Pickmes basically say whatever the dusty narrative, is, right? And again, I'm going to go over my favorite definition of a Pickme. Someone that deliberately exhibits behavior that attempts to appease others, most often the opposite sex, whilst acting as if they're completely unaware that this is what they're doing, even though they definitely are. They know what they're doing. And what they're doing is very regressive. It set women back. It sets them back. Look, you can be dainty and feminine. My great-grandmother was one of the most feminine, womanly women I'd ever met. I think a lot of people can say that about their grandparents, right? But it was a different time, right? I know people whose grandmothers and mothers didn't fare so well in abusive marriages. No, they didn't get divorced. They just died. They just died of illnesses that could have been avoided. One of the more sick things I've ever seen. You guys know how I feel about the BS ratchet wars. I won't waste my time personally, but we can talk about it and dissect them here for the general audience. But personally, I will engage in no one's war but my own. And these ratchet wars are a distraction. One of the things I'll see, right, is Dusties saying, ha ha. Let me tell you something. Saying ha ha, Dusties, to Black women who perish in the hospital trying to give birth to your children is not the flex you think it is. It's not the flex you think it is. And when you are so weak and low and depraved that is the only thing you can say to feel like you have a little power, you got to reevaluate your whole life. Give yourself to God. Do you understand that? Go to church. Go to church. Sit in the back. Nobody wants to be around your corrupt soul. Sit in the back pew. Go to church, sit in the back pew, and beg for mercy and forgiveness. If you're online saying that kind of stuff to your women that are giving birth to your children, and you're pointing out how medical racism cost them their lives because they don't have a patriarchy that will step up and protect them. See, the Pickme believes that we live in a matriarchy. This is what the Pickme believes, because this is what the Dust Mites believe. We live in a matriarchy. Well, if we lived in a matriarchy, then the matriarchy would provide jobs. And everyone that was a part of that matriarchy would fall in line. Fall in line. They wouldn't make a bunch of videos and be complaining about it all day. They would fall in line because it is what it is. Because you don't have a matriarchy just because you failed at patriarchy. You do not have a matriarchy just because you failed at the game of patriarchy. Okay? That doesn't make a matriarchy. You have to study people, study anthropology, study sociology. Please go to school, or that school that y'all hate so much. So these degree walkers. Maybe if your mama had a degree, you would have had some Nike sneakers for Christmas. Since you're so mad about that. Maybe if your mama had a degree. The fuck? Degree walkers? You guys are shaming people out of something that Black people bled to be able to have in this country. An education. How dare you? And it's because you don't know your people, you don't know your history, you don't know your culture, you don't know a damn thing, but you're on here ranting and raving because you developmentally corrupted and broken, you're unhealed. Degree walker, maybe if your daddy had a degree, he would have a degree of sense to stay in the house with his kids. If your daddy had a degree. Yeah, that's one thing. When you get a degree, that's one thing you can do is walk. You can build when you have a degree and you have some common sense. Y'all trying to shame women out of getting degrees so that y'all don't have to feel inadequate? Come on now. And look, I double majored cum laude. Graduated in 4 years. I did this through homelessness. I got my master's degree. Yeah, but I don't never lead with that because I don't have to. I got a bunch of other to lead with. It's not a thing. I barely bring that up on this channel. Besides to say I went to college. We're going to get more into that. As we get into these pick-me's, we've only just begun. VP, welcome. VP, are you with me? Okay, you were supposed to say, oh yeah, we have it. Okay. VP, are you with me? All right. And you know what? I saw a video of Kurt Franklin's son. Oh, Lord. We'll talk about that later. Jeez, just hope he's okay. But we talk a lot about narcissistic families here as well. And I'll shout her out again, but shout out to Spiritual Whistleblower because she really has such great content if you're interested in understanding more about family dynamics that you grew up in so that you can heal your inner child so you're not walking around broken, so you're not on social media, clickety-clacking. The keyboard thugs, the keyboard warriors. Calm down, keyboard warrior. Right? Heal that inner child. Because the real war is in real life. Believe that. All right, so VP says, is Pickme, mammies, and mules are the same people? Or are there a personality difference between these women? I hear these terms a lot describing Black women supporting undeserving Black men. This is great, and that was a great question, VP. I'm happy to answer that. All right, so a pick-me is what I just described, right? Someone that exhibits behavior that attempts to appease others, particularly men, and she's pretending like she doesn't understand what she's doing. Are M&Ms, right? I can't really say those terms on this channel much because, they don't like a lot on here on YouTube. I call them M&Ms on my channel. Are M&Ms the same as pick-me's? Yes. Yes, they are. The thing about M&Ms are older pick-me's. All right? They would love if a guy gave them attention, but they know those days are being run through. run through talking about something. You're not being chosen. Chosen for what? Chosen for what? Chosen for what? The run through? The run through? Okay. Eminem is usually older. Okay, and Eminem is often a pick-me who is a Bible thumper. All right, and believe me, I believe in the Creator. I've been a Christian my whole life, so but I'm a lot of things, and I don't use the Bible to shame other people. That's something that Eminem will do. Definitely the Tammies of the Eminems. Okay, so the Tammies are usually the mothers and faux mothers, right? So as the pick-me gets older. And she can't change her mindset, she becomes a Tammy. And the Tammies are the mothers, right? They didn't listen. They thought being a pick-me would get them the ring, the house, the car. It didn't. But you know what? They do have a couple of kids. So they become Tammies because they got suckered and they want other people to be suckered. It is what it is. This is what Tammies do. And or they have, I believe some of y'all call them thuns, okay? Not sons, thuns. I don't know why, but I think it's funny. Okay. These Tammies have thuns, right? And they want their thuns to be catered to and coddled the way that they catered and coddled their deadbeat daddies. Yeah. So that's what the Tammies are. The tools of the Eminems, okay, the tools are usually, you could say a lot of them are the women that would be willing to put themselves on front lines for men. And look, I put myself on the front lines for men before. Children, male children, and or my male family members. I put myself on the line before because I wasn't thinking. Because a man's got to know how to protect himself. That's the marking and the making of a man. Is protecting himself and protecting others. They said that that's the marking and the making of that masculinity, of the reason you were given testosterone, so you can protect yourself and the people you want around you. Look, if you don't want nobody around you, then use it all to protect yourself. I hear that's what they do nowadays. They don't want nobody around them. They're like, maybe on the other side of the world. Yeah, go on the other side of the world playing games. It don't fare well. It don't fare well. Go on the other side of the world playing games. This ain't the 60s now. They're not going to just let y'all up in there and make a bunch of babies and leave. No, they not. No, they not. No, they not. Okay? Did they have Sally Jesse Raphael in Ireland with all the black babies there? Germany? Vietnam? Did they have Ricky Lake? The daddies didn't stay and take care of those black kids. And those biracial children from those countries had a hard lot at life because a Dusty is developmentally delayed and can't control himself. He acts on the urges of an animal, but wants the responsibilities, but wants the privileges of a man. A man is measured. I'm telling you because I've lived with one for 11 years. Hallelujah! All right? Let's get more into these pick-me's. So what a pick-me is, right? The definition. All right? I was very appalled by the amount of pick-me's that I've come across on social media. Very appalled. Very appalled. They do very well. They are paid very well to say these things that men want them to say. Sometimes I even thought of it myself, to be honest. And look, I've got videos on how women need to check themselves. You can check those out. Are black women delusional? Oh, they loved that video, but they didn't like when I asked the same question about them. Well, everybody gets it. If you want to improve, you want to grow, you want to learn, why wouldn't you want to listen to an outside perspective? This keep it inside, everything stays inside. That's counterproductive to healing and growth. That's how cults work. You know, I got people, you said, you talking about me on your YouTube channel? Cut the cameras. Dead ass. Okay? Nobody's talking. I don't talk about people. I don't think about people. I'm just going to be honest. Okay? I don't think about people. I don't talk about people. I talk about experiences I've had. If you were a part of that experience, tough cookie. You don't like it? You shouldn't have done what you did. But I don't talk about people. I don't use names or anything like that. But see, people don't want to be accountable. So they get mad. Well, if you're a pick me or a lover of a pick me, I guess you're going to be mad about this one. Because what I aim to do is expose the mentality of these women, why they really exist. Because I believe, as the definition said, that they know what they're doing. And I believe they know that it does not behoove women what they're doing. You know, I'll be in chat, I'll be in the audio rooms and whatnot, you know what I'm saying? In the houses and stuff, listening, conversations, partaking in conversations, and I'll be hearing these Blackistani conversations, right? And, it'll be a black woman and a black guy arguing, right? And the black woman will get loud first, right? And I'm like, why'd you get loud first? Right? I'm like, you didn't have to get loud first. So on this topic, y'all talking about dating, and you want these men to date you. Why are you yelling at them? And I'm like, this is what happens when you're not around men. Men don't like to be yelled at. Now, there are black women that are like, y'all can't get that. Men don't like to be yelled at. That's not something distinct to black men. I understand that. And I don't seek to talk over men or yell at, whatever, right? And I'll notice this behavior and I'll be like, it's sad that this woman doesn't notice this because she wants these very men to date her, but she doesn't understand that, like, her attitude is out of control. Right? I have no problem talking about what women need to do. But we're talking about the pick-me's right now. And this is a group of women that I believe have accountability for their actions and what they say. Because I'm not here for all that. Oh, well, I was a pick-me. Now I'm talking about what DanieSteel's been talking about for the past 5 years. 6 years. I took a few years off of YouTube because I didn't like it. I was like, what? What is this? I didn't like all the ratchetness. I was not prepared for the ratchetness. A lot of times people come to me and be like, why are you talking about these issues if you so married and you so happily married? Y'all came over to my channel. I was bip to bop to booing. Fuck. I was bippity boppity boo talking about YouTube topics, having the time of my life. I was having the time of my life and thought that YouTube was cute. And then people came at me from the woodworks. I mean, I got misogynoirs, the anti-black people, racist people, sexist people. It was crazy. And I was like, but why y'all don't do that to white women? Because y'all know they protected. So y'all do that to black women? I was like, bye, goodbye. I had no problem with that. I get attention in real life, in real time. Enough. But people asked me to come back. And I believe that this space needs a voice like mine because you guys don't have any rational voices. You don't have a lot of people who actually are about that life. And look, I don't come on here saying I'm a millionaire and I'm rich. And I don't do that. What I will tell you is I've manifested tremendously. From a little Black girl who grew up during the crack cocaine epidemic and foster care in the hood, I've manifested tremendously. And I understand how important mindset is to manifesting greatness. All right. And I'm here to share that with who has a heart to learn it. If you don't have a heart to learn it, pop off. You know, this is not me coming at any women. I don't do that. I don't come at people. I'm going to call you out, but I'm going to call you in. I'm going to call you out, but I'm going to call you in. I don't believe people change unless they want to. But maybe someone will hear this and understand that you don't have to adopt this mentality of saying what men want to hear. I mean, unless it's strategic to get the bag. Okay. And see, that's the thing about the pick-me's, and I pointed this out to you guys a million times before. Okay. A pick-me aims to please men in general, and not even the top tier ones. Not even the top tier ones. That's what I'm talking about. You can't trust a woman that's trying to please a bunch of different men because different men want different things. And the collective mindset of what they claim to want on social media is a toxic lie. It is a toxic lie. Men want a lot of things, okay? But then there's society. There's what men want, there's what women want, and then there's how society functions. These dusties and their pick-me-shas are telling you, who cares about how society functions? Let's focus on what these dudes want. Who cares? See, there are individual men who understood, I want something ridiculous. I want utter submission. You know what they did? They threw a basketball. They did a rap song. They sold a couple of mixtapes. And they made a lot of money. So that what they wanted, which is not a societal standard, they could have. So, I'm gonna be honest, like I said, there's a lot of different pick-me's. I prefer the blatant pick-me, right? Than the ones that try to pretend like they're trying to help women with it, right? Because these ones in particular that will say, oh, I'm saying all this stuff to help other women. But how you help other women, you can't help yourself. Look, most people get married by age 30. All right? I was married by that age. Okay? You got a bunch of people on here, late 20s, early 30s plus, behaving like pick-me-shas, but the bottom line is, if they were such great pick-me-shas, why don't they have the ring? Why don't they have the ring? And they want to say, well, because I wasn't doing this. But you've been doing this now for how many years? Y'all been pick-me-shas on for several years now. On here thriving. It's gotten you some cash apps. But did you get the guy? Did you get the house? Did you get the ring? Did you get the car? No, they're not getting these things for being pick-me-shas. In fact, you guys can see very clearly in social media, you can see very clearly how these aren't the women that are being chosen. The women that are being chosen are not women that are pick-me's, right? They're usually women that men desire, and that is irrelevant to whether or not they're a pick-me. Understand this. Pick-me does not equal desired. It doesn't. And that's the thing that makes me sad for the Pickmes. Because I'm like, while you being a Pickme, you could be studying something. I know y'all hate degrees. Y'all hate degrees, but it'll save your life. And education will save your life. Not learning things from YouTube. Okay? But actually, you know what? Learning them from a book that you read and then verifying whether or not something you see on YouTube is real. And you can assess that because you have an education. Because you took psych stats. So you understand how things work. I'm going to encourage everyone to get an education. Education is actually becoming more and more free in this country. So, for example, if you live in New York State, all you got to do is study. All you got to do is study in school. Okay, nobody tell me they can't do that because I did it. I did it through growing up in foster care, through growing up through everything I went through. I did it. So don't tell me that you can't study. Studying it, if you anyone in New York State that's poor, all you got to do is study, work hard in school. You have a free education at one of these SUNY schools. Free college education. And then you got people online telling you not to get one because they 50 and now they popping. You want to wait till you 50 and scam all along the way of your life, having no dignity or morals, being a deadbeat father? That's what you want to do? That sounds better than getting an education. Okay. And, it's so toxic. It's so toxic. And the people who are thriving in terms of, of Black people with educations, a lot of these people, they're not going to have this conversation with y'all because they're thriving. They're focused on continuing up. Like I said, we shouldn't even have to be having this conversation. We're having a conversation about whether or not they should be stigmatizing an education as a reason why a woman can't get a man. When I tell you guys over and over again on this channel, hey, Sun Goddess Ari, when I tell you guys over and over again on this channel, I met my husband through college. All right. It wasn't being pretty in the hood. And I know that makes a lot of people who I believe are classists upset because they want to believe that they could have had everything. Right. But they want to believe that they were denied this, having a man because they weren't pretty enough or they weren't cool enough. Right. Like the pretty cool girls. Like, no. Most women I know that are married met their husbands in college. They don't do their makeup. They care about their health and fitness. But a lot of these women are very plain. A lot of women that are married are very plain because they met their husbands in college. All right. I don't care what I look like. I would not have met my husband if I didn't go to college. But they're trying to tell you, and the Pickmes are encouraging this, when it's like, girl, if you've never been to college, you've never been to college. That's fine. But why are you trying to encourage other people not to? Because some dust king says so. Please, if you're in the room, like the video and subscribe. Please support the channel. Don't come into space and just hate. Like the video and subscribe. Please. Because that's what I need to know whether or not these are the topics that I should be investing in. All right? You come in, you support everybody else. You want to come in and listen to me and get all these ideas about who you think I am. Just like the video and subscribe. I promise you, you'll have the time of your life. Okay? I told you, a lot of y'all faves listen to my videos and pull content from my videos. Okay? Because nobody was talking about dating smart dudes. My husband is a genius. Nobody was talking about dating smart dudes and, making sure it's not it's the quality of the character. Everybody was on some surface-ish. Everybody was, he gotta be black or he's gotta be white. Everybody was doing that ish. Look back at my videos. I'm one of the only people that I know that for years I had dozens of videos about the realities of interracial dating, the realities, and how you need to love yourself no matter who you're with and not let people disrespect you. Wasn't nobody doing that. Everything was sensational. I don't play that sensational-ish because y'all are listening to this sensational content and it's ruining your lives. It's ruining your lives. Especially if you succumb easily to suggestion and persuasion. Especially if you didn't have a daddy, you didn't have a mama, whatever, and you're looking for guidance and you're looking for belonging. A lot of these content creators don't mind ruining your life. Okay, and I firmly believe anyone, I've said this multiple times on this channel, and I mean that, for women and men, anyone encouraging you not to get a degree does not want the best for you. That's one of the ways that we compete in this society, is with the degrees. That's right, those degrees. That's right, those degrees. That's how we compete in this society. Again, y'all love to behave like there's some miniature country here that operates differently than the rest of the country. We're in the country, guys. We're in the country. Okay? It's not a mini country within a country and the rules are different. Y'all applying cyberland topics to your real life. You're going to get hurt. I'm talking about concepts that are talked about among academics, among people who can thrive in a society such as this, a very competitive society, very competitive. A lot of societies are that way. And then people are encouraging you not to get a degree. Incredible. So let's listen to a Pickme. Okay, let's hear like where you're like, oh, what's something a Pickme would say, right? Well, let's have a listen. Okay.
Do y'all know why black men cannot take care of their children like white men do? Because black women act different than white women. I said what I said. White women, listen, they ain't going through all that. Oh, you want to come get your kids? Okay, listen, let's get a schedule together. You going to get them every other holiday, every other weekend. You going to pick them up from school Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Do y'all understand? They co-parent. Do you understand? They put their differences to the side and they do what's best for the kids. Black women, y'all don't do that. We gonna be real. On today, on New Year's Eve, y'all don't do that. Y'all tell them you can't see your kids. Your kids can't go to your new girlfriend's house. You can't see your kids. You can't see your kids because you ain't buying no Jordans. You ain't buying no polo, no time.
Gosh. Okay. All right. Incredible. Now, and this was a woman. That was a fellow black woman, right? Talking about black women. So first she must throw herself under the bus to do this, right? Because in her generalization, she generalizes herself. Yeah, you know, my school was around that amount of black people as well when I was at PWIs. It was around that as well. And of course, that means that there's more black women, right? My undergraduate campus did something that I found very bizarre. Now, I had to stay on one campus because of my majors, right? But they put most of the black students in my undergrad on like the inner city campus. I don't know why. I didn't know that they did this, obviously. So by the time I found out, I was, in the suburbs, right, on the suburban campus. I never even knew that they were doing that. It was just kind of crazy to me. But yeah, there's obviously going to be more Black women. So that means every Black guy that's in college wouldn't, if they all dated Black women, there still wouldn't be enough guys for Black women. But still, you live in this bizarre Blackistan society that will tell you a Black woman that's not with a Black man, right? She's a sellout, and she's right. They don't do that with the men. They don't. And I don't care how hard a lot of these younger women are going at y'all now about that. I don't care, because y'all make it hard for Black women. So I don't care how hard these younger Black women are going at y'all. That's not within the lived culture, right? Because the Black women could go hard at y'all online, but they don't do it in real life. They don't. Whereas in so many facets of Black society, right? I had a older Black person that I interacted with, for example, and she called my husband my friend boy. Please understand this. She called him my friend boy until we got married, right? And she didn't do that with anybody else's boyfriend. So I thought that was very interesting, because she never said anything about it. She wasn't family. She wasn't a family member. Like I said, my great-grandmother helped raise me, and my great-grandmother said, be with the best man for the job. All right? That's what my great-grandmother, born in 1923, told me. So I don't care what a Twitter account has to say about what I'm doing. I don't care. And you know what? Let's get into that, right? Why I don't really give up, and a lot of these pick-me's do. So you can tell a lot about a person based on whom they seek approval from. Okay? You can tell a lot about a person based on whom they seek approval from. Some people want approval from a political party, right? And you can see how people behave when they want approval from their political parties, right? Very extreme. Some people want approval from their families. Some people want approval from their friends. The pick-me wants approval from dusty men. Why? I've always wondered this. Look, I grew up in the hood, baby. It was a lot of dust storms. They try to tell me, why didn't you date somebody from the hood instead of dating my husband, who I met in college? Do you see what they want for you out here? I'm a dark-skinned Black woman, okay? And I just never felt like, people be like, you're not Black anymore. As you can clearly see, I'm Black, and that'll never change, right? They'll come in and be like, you look like a white woman with that hair on your head. No, I don't. I do not look like a white woman with a weave or wig. But yet, if they're pick-me's, because don't get the pick-me and the preference mixed up. Most of these preferences are not pick-me's. They know that these dusty dudes are desperate, and they don't have to behave the way pick-me's behave to get their attention. Okay? So one thing I'm not going to tell you exoticals are pick-me's. Because exoticals and even thoticals, they don't tend to be pick-me's because they know they can get them. It's these women that have an insecurity about getting their own, quotation marks, own men, right? Who are these women? Well, let's go based on the outward appearance. I'm going to go there. I'm going to go to there. I'm going to go to there. I'm going to go to the outward appearance. Okay, please, if you're in the room, like the video and subscribe. You've listened long enough. It's time for you to like the video and subscribe. You won't regret it, okay? Let's talk about what these women look like. I don't care. All right, because y'all know me. Y'all know I throw on a wig. I'm not going to glue it down. I'll throw it on. So some hair hat. You damn right it's a hair hat. It's a hair hat that I need to maneuver in a society that's structured based on anti-blackness. Do you understand that? You know what else is a hat? A stocking cap that you wear 24 hours a day to manipulate the texture of your 4C Afro kinky hair so that it looks like you have waves. That's a hat. That's a hat. Why y'all hats don't get made fun of? And everybody know y'all wear weaves and wigs now. God. Everybody knows that. Okay, so let's get into what these chicks look like. I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna go to there. And look, like I said, it's no shade. I love everybody. And it is what it is. We're deconstructing it. We're deconstructing it. Now, I would love to have a conversation with a Pickme. All right? I think it would be fun. But Pickmes don't like other women that aren't Pickmes. They don't. They don't want, because you'll break their spell if you talk to them, right? You'll start making sense. You'll start making sense. Look, I'm happily married. You'll start making sense. I don't have to say what somebody tells me I have to say at all. You'll start making sense. And they're scared of that. They're terrified of that. These poor Pickmes. A lot of them are beautiful. All right? I don't even think about the ones that aren't. I'll be honest. I'm sorry, but I don't. The ones that aren't, I'm like, what are you even talking for? These dudes don't want you any time of the week. And that's why a lot of them don't show their face. There's a lot of Pickmes out there don't show their face because they know. They know. They know. Okay? They know. All right, so we're looking at lighter skinned women. All right, when we're looking at Pickmes. This is not all. All right? This is not all. Okay? And this doesn't mean that I don't like any. I love everyone. I even like Pickmes. Like I said, a lot of them are pretty. I wish them the best. If you're a black woman, I'm wishing you the best. And I'm open to having conversation with Pickme. Prove me wrong, Pickme. In fact, if you're a Pickme listening to this, you're like, I would prove on you. Go ahead, maybe I'll put down the link and we can have a conversation about it. If you feel that strongly, I have a problem having a conversation with a Pickme. That ain't no thing. A lot of them are lighter skinned, guys. Okay? It just is what it is. And again, I said they're not exotical. So it's not the Gene Icos. It's not the Gene Ico exotical lighter skin, right? It's that obviously a black person, right? Peanut butter brown. There's a lot of them in the peanut butter brown, right? What's Umar Johnson? Umar Johnson called all black women flavors, a mocha chocolate, Creole lady marmalade. Okay. It's a lot of these creamy coffees. Right? I call them creamy coffees. It's a lot of that group that does this. And I would find that interesting if I didn't literally grow up right in the hood. I grow up with these women. I saw how they were treated growing up. Hypersexualized in the hood. Right? Whereas, and I got it. I mean, dark skin, brown skin, dark skin, black women get it bad too, the hypersexualization. But I found it to be just relentless for these lighter skinned women. I've talked about this on my channel. Why I believe that, we are a sisterhood, black women of all shades, and we need to look out for each other because I don't like that. I don't like that. And as someone who's had lighter skinned family members, I will destroy you over certain light skinned women. That's not a problem. That's not a problem for me. I was very protective of my lighter skinned family members. I grew up in a family where I was one of the darker skinned people. Okay? So, A lot of them are lighter skinned, obviously black, right? Creamy coffees. Creamy coffees. Okay. And here's why I think that they do this, right? I think a lot of it is because, like, when we were growing up, for example, a lot of times they would say to lighter skinned kids, oh, you think you white? You think you white? That's what they would say in the hood. Anybody that wasn't obviously black, like me, obviously black, and nobody didn't bother me. But if you're not obviously black, y'all know how it is. You know how it is. You know how it is, right? So they hypersexualize these women. They hone in on them, right? I believe all black girls are adultified. We'll talk about that later. We talked about parentification of black girls already. We'll talk more about the adultification of black girls, right? There's an insidiousness about it that I've seen with lighter skin black women that I'm like, how could you be a pick-me? But again, it's this need for approval and a need for acceptance. I don't need black people to tell me they accept me. I'm black. I work with black kids. I've never not been invited to a barbecue. I advocate for black people. This is what I do. I fight against racism. I don't flip-flop about that. And I don't specialize who it is. I don't have any baby daddies. I'm not angry at some guy out there. Look, nobody had a daddy when I was growing up. I didn't know you were supposed to expect them to be there. I didn't know. And when I got older, I still wasn't mad because I wasn't thinking about him. It is what it is. Like I said, I don't think about people. It is what it is. That's not how my mind works. He didn't think about me, and I don't think about him. And as he gets old and, you're getting older now when it's cold, when you're lonely, and Nathan's going up so quick, he's going to know that you're phony. You're getting older now and it's cold when you're lonely. That's his life reckoning. That's the life reckoning for all deadbeats. Is getting older and being forgotten. So anyways, let me see some of y'all comments. Even the black women that like white guys tend to be pick-me's by thinking that they are better than other black women that like white guys. Come on now, sun goddess Ari. She's young and she's smart. She's young and she's smart. Some dusty gonna try to come over here. That's why I said, don't play yourself. Don't play yourself. I grew up in very rough circumstances. We could pop. That's not a problem for me. I don't consider hurting people's feelings. That's not an issue for me. You feel how you feel. You're gonna try to come over here and talk about something. That's why you bootlicking and kissing Dwight, man. Dwight, nah, cut the cat. Anybody that knows me knows I don't do that. Ask my husband. What you talking about? I'm only interested in empowering myself, black women, black children. The things that black people should be focused on. Ain't nobody caping for nobody over here. That's why, if y'all haven't noticed, there's no dusties of any shape or form in my comment section. If they come in, it's an obvious troll. Because I'm not going to say things. Again, this is what pick-me's do. Black women. And then these women will do the same thing because they like a white guy. You're not going to get picked. You're not going to get the house. You're not going to get the car. That's not how you get a white guy. Talking about you hate all black people. Like, that's not how you get a white guy. That's how you'll get somebody really messed up to mess with you. I can't understand why to be more attractive to guys. I have that insecurity myself, but thinking you're better than other girls is not okay. Period, sun goddess Ari. Absolutely. Talking about these women do this and just trying to get those little Scooby snacks from the dusties. Ugh. as well as being super defensive over men that don't have the same energy for you. Come on now, Sun God, sorry. A lot of chips. What you looking at? What's up? What's up, a lot of chips? What's that? What's that? Okay. So let's continue breaking down these women. A lot of these pick-me's are, and again, we talked about M&Ms, right? The M&Ms are older. I'm talking about pick-me's. I'd say the pick-me's, I'm sorry, but y'all be trying to be a pick-me and you're getting close to 50, hang it up, flat screen, all right? Hang it up. It's not for you. Okay? Leave it to the young ones, all right? But a lot of these pick-me's are younger women, and not teenage either, right? But particularly early 20s to mid 30s, okay? They usually won't get past the 30s, right? Before they start to understand that being a pick-me has not behooved them. And then they'll flip content, and you guys will let them. They'll flip content, and you guys will let them. And then you'll say, oh, they've created this non-pick-me way. Like, no. They were just over there making your life a living fucking hell. Were they not? Watch who you listen to. So a lot of them are younger because they think they have a chance. They think that they are unicorns and that you other women couldn't do it. And they're going to show you how. I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting to see which one of the pick-me's is going to get a ring. It's very few of these pick-me's that are actually married. And again. Pick-me's of any race or ethnicity. I don't care. The pick-me's that are married are the breadwinners. The pick-me's that are married are the breadwinners. The pick-me's that are married are the breadwinners. Okay? So why would you do it? I mean, besides getting your little cash apps and your little coin, why would you do it? This is not a strategic thing to do for your life, And here's why I think that they do it. Okay? Because again, they want approval from blackness. When I was growing up, like I said, they would tell light-skinned girls, oh, you think you white, right? Oh, you think you better. And again, these pick-me's will use that to dislike black women, to dislike dark-skinned black women, right? They said I wasn't black enough. They ostracized me, as if the men weren't also participating in that. As if the men were just gentle. They were just so gentle to you in the hood when you were growing up. And there was all these dark-skinned girls. All I remember doing is being a bodyguard from my lighter-skinned friends and family. All I remember was being a bodyguard from aggressive males. And angry, ugly chicks. Sure, right? Right? Like I said, I don't take that away from light-skinned girls. I was there. I seen how they were treated, but it wasn't just dark-skinned black women doing that, right? There was a preoccupation with your color. Now you're going to use it to be a pick-me? Okay. Oh, okay. Go ahead. Like I said, I don't care, but like I said, it's not getting y'all nothing but the cash apps. And then ultimately, you're going to end up flipping the script when you get to 35. And there's some of them that's holding on for dear life to be, 40 plus pick-me's, holding on to dear life for that spot. Still don't got the ring, still don't got the house. Well, I'll make my own house. Okay, that's great. So how is that what these men are looking for? They're looking for submission. They're looking for submission, but the women that are married, the pick-me's that are married are the breadwinners, but they're looking for submission. It don't add up. Now, another reason that a lot of these pick-me's exist and repeat this rhetoric, right? This dusty rhetoric, is because, you know, and again, I don't judge anyone at all. I don't. I've come to a great place in my life where that's just not something that I do. I used to be, you know, more on that when I was younger, but healing and growing is very important to me. So I wish everybody the best. Do whatever you want. But a lot of these women didn't go to college, right? Maybe they went to college, but, you know, like their dusty, you know, king, they didn't graduate. They didn't get those papers. Okay, they didn't get those degrees. Okay. Yeah, me and my husband got our degrees up on the wall. A lot of degrees in this house. A lot of degrees. And so we will expect nothing less from our children. Or you can go off and be a millionaire. But what you're not going to do is be bumming around here. No, take your act to school. Get to school. All right. So a lot of these women don't have degrees. And like, you know, scamuels who popularized degree walkers and shaming Black people for having degrees. So bizarre because he doesn't have one. A lot of these women are like that as well. They don't have degrees. And so they're like, yeah, that makes sense, right? I'm like, really? That makes sense? None of y'all is perfect. None of y'all is perfect. You know, like I said, I don't glue wigs down. So you might see me with a lopsided wig. I'm not perfect, right? None of y'all is perfect to be talking about, oh yeah, those degrees and y'all think y'all so special for no. Calm that ish down. You look silly doing that. You really do. Here's something else that pick-me's don't like. Something else that, you know, right, is a way for them to discredit even me. Even me. They'll try to discredit me with it, right? Because I'm overweight. Right? And they're like, yeah, overweight. Okay, again, you know, I was gonna say something mean. That's why I stopped myself. Okay, but look, y'all Lord and Savior is not fit. It is what it is. He don't have the most fit physique. You know, it's an American thing. If you look at Samoa, for example, versus American Samoa, the American Samoans are extremely overweight and obese. It's an American thing. Any country that imports American food has an obesity problem. So it's an I don't even eat fast food, but you know what I'm saying? It's an American thing. It is what it is. Y'all not perfect. Y'all not perfect. And it's clear that you're not perfect because you've been on here for years talking these points to these dudes. None of them have offered you a ring. They might have given you $5 in the cash app. You might get $20 in the super chat, but when the live is over, you don't have these dudes saying, you know, hey, I'm a 6-figure guy that works for a company and I'd love to marry you so we can make that Black love life that we talk about so much. It doesn't happen. And y'all come on here video after video and you're still single. You're still single, but you want to talk about something. Y'all think they all that because they got degrees and they fat and they overweight. Y'all not perfect. Some women have degrees, some women don't. I don't see women with degrees talking down on women that don't have degrees the way that y'all think y'all gonna popularize talking down on women that have degrees. You ain't gonna talk down over here because this is the real world. In the real world, degrees matter. This isn't cyberspace. This is the real world. When you log off, it's important to have a degree. Waiting for a man to pick you is probably the dumbest thing you can do in life. Okay? And that's what the pick-me pathology rests on. That you have to do, you have to not wear makeup, not wear wigs, make money, but pretend you don't when you meet him. But so that he feels like a breadwinner. But then you got to pretend that you do have enough money to pay for all the dates and anything that you want, because you got to pay for anything you want by yourself. And it's a lot of rules. It's a lot of weird rules, right? And you got to do all of that in the hopes of being picked. That's the pick me pathology. You know, a lot of them are fit. The more popular ones. Most pick me's won't even show them face because they know they're not gonna get picked. But the ones that, right, are brave enough to show themselves, right, most of them are fit. They're fit physically. Physically fit. They physically fit. You know, I want to talk about some hypergamy. Look, if your husband not a breadwinner, just say that. Just say that. But that's part of that submission talk that we talk about. And I'm talking to y'all as a wife. As a wife, and my husband is the head. He's the head, and the head is the head bop. The head bops, and the shoulders move. Okay? Why are you talking down on what other women do? See, I'm not talking down on what the pick me does. I'm just unpacking it. You're welcome to do it, pick me. You're welcome to do it. Because you ain't competing with me. You're not competing with me. Look, the reality is I've been around a lot of the dudes that y'all would hope to get. I've been around them. And yeah. Okay? They was asking me for my company, my black behind. Yeah, it is what it is. And I have never been a pick me. And I don't believe that you have to do that. And I believe that you should get your college education. And I believe that if a man wants a woman to submit, he has to provide accordingly. And that's period. Or you're not going to get submission. If somebody's paying half the bills, you're not getting submission on that, bruh. And y'all will openly admit, you gotta pay half the bills. So shut up about the submission-ish. It's that simple. Y'all talking about some submission. Y'all don't go to church. These are church concepts. Y'all don't go to church. So get real. Okay? Now, back to more about who these pick-me's are. Okay? They have lowered expectations. Lowered expectations. They have lowered expectations. That's clear from the thumbnail, right? You can give them a couple of Scooby snacks, all right? The cash apps keep them content. A pat on the head. They don't mind being the breadwinner and projecting that their husbands or partners are the breadwinners. Even though it's clear as day, they're the breadwinners. They don't mind doing that. I couldn't imagine you doing a lot of work. You gotta make a lot of money. You gotta make a lot of money for that lifestyle. And then you're gonna turn around and say it's all because of him when it's not? Incredible. Incredible. If he wants you to submit and he wants to be the breadwinner, then go out and make more money, bruh. Go out and make more money. So anyways, they have lowered expectations. These women, they don't mind being baby mamas. And that is no shade to women that are single mothers. There's a difference. Single mothers, I respect and support on this channel, and I always will, because a lot of people can't control the circumstances. I'm talking about baby mamas who don't mind that ish. Right? They don't mind being baby mamas. They don't mind not getting child support. No, they'd rather place the burden on you, right? They'll come in. You know how many cash apps I've seen from women that don't want to ask for child support? You know how many cash apps are out there? So the rest of us got to pay for it. And this dude gets to come back whenever he wants for a good time. And we got to pay for your kids. That's the most bizarre mentality. Who thinks like that? A Pickme. The brain is rotted with lowered expectations. Okay? These are women that don't try to get a custody agreement or arrangement established. So they constantly talking about something. I asked the kid's dad if he would take the kids. What do you mean I ain't asking a damn thing. I ain't asking a damn thing. You make a child with me, baby. I swear to God, I would never. I couldn't see it in my life. Ask. So he said no. He said no. Huh? But they're quick to cuss you out, right? There'll be a hairstylist with 25,000 rules about how you got to come to the hair salon with your hair pressed if you want it pressed. Got to pay half the deposit. They got a bunch of rules. And if you eat in my store, and if you do this, and if you do, oh, you got a bunch of rules for the customers, but no rules for your baby daddy? No rules? You must be fun. You must be a fun little thing to trot all over. Ain't that why they like you? Ain't that why you keep coming back for a fun time? You gotta ask this dude to watch his own kids? Obviously, they don't expect a ring, they don't expect a house, they don't expect a car, right? But here's what always bothered me about Pickmes. If you're in the room, please thumbs up and subscribe. Appreciate ya. They have no expectation for how this male, oh, and Pickmes also, they love to call women females, but they'll call men men. When I'm talking about men, I'll say men. When I'm talking about males, I'll say males. If I'm talking about females, like that's what Pickmes are. They're the females they love to talk about so much. Y'all are the females, okay? There's women and there's females. You know who's a female? A female that calls a female a female female. You just going female and a female with a female. Come on. Come on. That's obviously disrespect to women. Like women don't deserve the same respect as men. I don't mess with that ish. You're going to give me the same respect without doubt. Period. Now, I will submit to my husband. These dusties want general submission of women to men. Where do they do that at? I told y'all in the last video where they do that at. All right? A place where that America is just finished evacuating from. They do it there. And they covered up the pictures of the women with the makeup and their hair down at the beauty shop because they knew. Nah, these dudes don't play that. That's what they want y'all to live in, Blackistan. And the Pickmes would help that to come into fruition. Because that's all you're doing. That's all you're doing. Where do they do that at? Well, I'm just supposed to submit to you. You're supposed to feel me submitting to you because I'm interacting with you and I'm a woman and you're a man. Where do they do that at? Well, there's certain places they do that. Again, water rises to its level and dust storms get sand up everybody's butt. And they want y'all sitting in the sand with them. They want y'all sitting in the dust, in the dirt, with no makeup, no makeup. Nobody wants you and they don't want you, right? That's a really lovely power dynamic for them. They're like, yeah, I like how that would feel. I don't give a about your weird fantasies. And again, this is any guy that thinks this way. It's a lot of guys that think this way. It's not specific to race at this point. It's really not. This is a psychotic American philosophy. The Pickmes are of every race and ethnicity as well, right? So they don't have any expectations about how these dust mites treat their family and friends. These guys can come in and wreak havoc on their families. They come in, they knocking you all up, all around, all over the place, right? Breaking your phone, abusing you, which according to Scammules, that's okay. Sick. They don't care that your family has to deal with that. Now your family has to step in to protect you. Now your family's in harm's way from this psychopath that you've made believe has some unlimited amount of power over you. Now your family has to deal with it because you wanted to play games with the dust. I'm gonna make a scary movie called The Dust. Okay? It's gonna star one of y'all favorite dusty actors. And he's gonna be all suave and stuff. And then like at night, he like transforms into dust, like Michael Jackson, you know, and Remember the Time. And he'll spin around, like become dust and terrorize women and make children he doesn't want to take care of, right? I think it's really disgusting how these women will put these men before their own children, before family, before themselves. You can't trust a woman that'll put a man before herself. I don't care what nobody say. I don't care what nobody say. Because the children always come first. And I'll come first. And then we can play your little patriarchy games. It's not going to be you coming first. So you putting yourself first. Your mama put you first. And I got to put you. That's a lot of people putting you first. No. So here's some other things, ways that you can spot a pick me. And again, I think it's important to be able to spot a pick me because, like I said, they don't want to be friends with women that aren't pick me's. So you have to understand if a woman is a pick me because you'd be wasting your time interacting with her. I've interacted with a few women that were pick me's, right? And they don't even think, like, they don't have normal brain processing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't be like, hey, would you like to work together? About, all they're thinking about is what's it going to look like to this person and this person and this person and this person and this person. If I do this, what's it going to look like to this person and this person? And I'm like, that's how you think. Like, look, I got to go. I want to interact with someone who's only using their own brain, not the brain of what the cyber community thinks. Okay? So I think it's important to be able to spot these women, all right? They make fun of Black women that date interracially, right? Say they got bad wigs. So what do you care if the wig is bad, right? If it's all bad, if having a wig is so bad, what do you care if it looks bad or not? Because the pick me knows that these dusties demand that platinum blonde 38-inch wig looks like it's growing out of your scalp. So to do that, you got to glue it on. You got to get all the baby hairs. It must take hours to bleach the bundles and bleach the knots and bleach the unit. And you sitting in some pick me hairdressers, illegal shop, dealing with her BS. She eating in your ear, baby on her hip, abusive boyfriend at the door. You got to deal with all that. So they have to have the wigs look like they're coming right out of the head. That was something new. That you guys have been very innovative about that. And look, I've never had it glued, baby. It is what it is. I'm not using glue around my hair. I love myself too much, but I've gotten my hair done professionally, and it's looked a lot nicer if I'm going on vacation or whatnot. But to do this every day, right? The big bat lashes, right? The nails, the long, long nails. And I'm not shading long nails. You guys know I wear long nails. I like long nails. I'm not shading it. But you have to wear this, you have to present this way all the time. You just have to. I mean, you'll see these women, they'll be sick and they'll have the lashes on. It's like, baby, just take care of yourself. They'll have the lashes on, but they'll have a bonnet. Like, what? So they do, right? These women dress, they behave, they do their hair and makeup, not to get male attention, but to get the approval of the dusties. There's a difference. Because if a woman wants to get male attention, there are certain things you do. Men like long hair. I don't care what these guys are telling you. Men like long hair. That's why they shame black women about showing their hair, because my hair is like shoulder length. But shrinkage makes it look like it's a tiny fro, you know? And I usually wear my hair in twists, right? They want you to wear your hair out all the time to prove to them that you have hair. I'm not doing ish to prove to y'all nothing. Go do research. If it's that important to you. You know, I've had some random guy, you know, they'll come to your pictures, your Instagram, and be like, oh, you look nice without makeup. I know I do. But I'm gonna look how I want to look, baby. Why would I dress for the approval of men that don't pay my bills? That's what a Pickme does. And she wants you to lower yourself to that standard, to dressing, to looking like for the approval of men that don't pay your bills, men that are lying to you. There's what men want, and then there's what these dudes are telling you because they want you to live in Blackistan. They want to cover up the pictures of all pretty women so that nobody wants you. Understand this. That's what they want. And like I said, the Pickme will help that come into fruition if y'all keep feeding into this ish. So like, here's some more things that you can tell. Like, oh, this is probably a Pickme, right? A poorly placed tattoo. A poorly placed tattoo, right? That's usually on a woman that's looking to get picked. You know, on the face, tattoos on the face, because it usually has the dude's name by the time they tattoo in the face, the neck, you know, boobs, obvious places that, like, when you wear a dress, it just doesn't really compliment. And there are women that are covered in tattoos, and I think they look great, right? But I'm talking about these random, you know, tattoos that they don't seem artistic. They seem pick-me-ish. All right. So that's just what it looks like. They call these dusty males beautiful all the time. They're like, I want me a beautiful. Cause see, I can only be with a beautiful dusty. I want him to be so beautiful. Blacker than the night sky. The blackest thing in the world. I want them blacker. Do you ever hear these dudes saying, I want a woman blacker than night? Oh, let her be so black. Black women are so beautiful. Do y'all wake up every morning, these dudes talking about some black women, you're so beautiful? But every morning, these Pickmes, you're beautiful. Like, why do you? I'm sorry. What guy even wants to hear that, right? Like, don't they want to hear, like, you're handsome, you're successful, I like the way you provide, I like the way you protected me the other day when this happened, right? You really handled that. I like that. Now, you're beautiful. They also, you're beautiful. It's true. Every morning, and they don't do it to you. How is that feminine? How is that feminine? Telling men they beautiful, and that made no sense to me. But these Pickmes, right, are the The end all be all when it comes to telling people what's femininity. Even though, again, they're pick me ways and logic. Don't get them a ring. Don't get them a man. They have the same struggles as most other women. It don't matter if the women have a degree, they're overweight. It don't matter. Y'all all talking about the same ish. So why are you so much special and better? Because you're doing pick me things? Some of the people at my school expect me to look good most of the time. Like, who? Exactly. You know, I realized that a little too late because I was always trying to look good when I was in school when I was in college, and it's like, and nobody else does. And all they do is hate on you, especially when you're a Black woman. You don't get any protection because, nobody cares. And then people are just jealous and hating on you. Like, fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. You get sweats. Anybody that don't appreciate it will get sweats. That's why the Avy up now. If it's not appreciated, you can get the Avy. I don't see the point in dressing up for guys this year because I'm supposed to be a senior and the guys are either my age or younger. For older guys, I'm still going to dress nice sometimes. Absolutely, some guys, Ari, you gotta do what's best for you. You gotta do what's best for you, baby. Absolutely, absolutely. You have a really great mentality about it, which is I'm going to do what I want to do. All right, you're a beautiful girl, so it's like attracting men. That's not a problem. That's the last thing you gotta. Some women are so pretty, so beautiful. The last thing you have to worry about is attracting a man. You need to worry about vetting. You need to worry about vetting these men. And the pick me will have a woman who can easily get a man believe she can't, because that's the pick me mentality. Scarcity mindset when it comes to men. Scarcity mindset. Tough. What's one thing I don't have is a scarcity mindset when it comes to men, baby. Not at all. It's so many. They're everywhere. I bump into ones all the time with money. That ain't no thing. Pick me's in Africa on another level. Oh, dang, really? Wow. I'm not surprised, though. I'm not surprised because where we get it from. Because let me tell you something. Oh, all right now. And Rachel Mindwa, I assume you're from Africa or you live in Africa. So correct me if I'm wrong. But, I was telling my husband this the other day. I was like, the women, look, come on, y'all don't want me to get to, come on now. I'm going to do it anyways. The women in Africa do a lot of the work. If I'm not mistaken, I've seen a lot of documentaries. I've talked to a lot of women. If I'm not mistaken, they do a lot of the labor, a lot of the work. Not only are they rearing children, not only do they also have high, top positions, but even in rural areas, right, where there's a lot of farming, right? The women are herding the cattle. They're milking the cows. They're doing all of the labor. And then the guys are standing around saying we're protecting things. They got guns. They stand around, they got big guns and they feel powerful. But it's the people doing the work that have the actual power. But see, if you're telling these dudes that just standing around holding a gun makes them the leader in the head, right? And I think that if they have that mentality, that's coddling them in a way. And that will lead to the pick-meism that we see rampant, apparently throughout the diaspora. And like I said, I thought it was an American thing, but it looks like it's throughout the diaspora as well. I mean, you're gonna have your pick-me's everywhere, but I think that coddling men leads to pick-me behavior. I don't believe that men want to be coddled, and that's why a lot of them come to my channel and they sit in the bushes because they want to know what they got to do. And it's build, baby. You got built. I'll see a lot of times they'll be like, why we don't have this in our neighborhoods, and why you have to build it. They're not going to build it for you. You haven't figured that out by now. You have to build it. If that means sacrificing Some of the fun times, oh well. And see, this is when Black people start tuning me out, right? They're like, okay, we're done here. We're done here. You're talking about empowerment. You were talking about family units. You were talking about healing. Okay, we sat and listened to that. But having a little less fun, and I get it, life is hard. You know, I'm going to do some gaming when I'm done with this. But first, I have to walk my dog, right? It's like you have responsibilities. You don't always get to have fun. I'm not going to skip out on my responsibilities. So when you're congratulating a man for doing the bare minimum, when you're coddling them and making them think that doing the bare minimum is sufficient, you're going to have a culture of pick-meism. This is what I'm observing. And I saw it clear as day with American culture. As a pick-me, it is pick-me to go Dutch on a date, to split bills, or accept a shoddy date. Yes. Yes, it is. And, you know, I'm all about working with what you got, you know, choosing people based on the content of their character. But he got to have a little bit of money. Okay, he got to be willing to pay for a coffee date. He got to be willing to pay for a diner date. These dudes is not even taking women to, you know, any place major to be talking about some worried about paying. Like, no. Any guy that I ever paid half on the bill, I never spoke to him again. I'm just being honest. It ain't no shade, baby. It's just we're done here. You had one opportunity, bruh. You see what I look like. It is what it is. I got a lot to offer. You have one opportunity to show me why I should continue interacting with you. And that depends on how gentlemanly you're prepared to be. I'm prepared to be very accommodating to a gentlemanly man. You got to pay for the date, bruh. So yeah, if you are a woman that splits bills, you will become a pick-me if here's the thing. If I know a lot of people that split bills, like I know a lot of white people split bills. Their men aren't asking for submission. Let's be clear. The people I know who split bills that are white people, okay? Not I heard of, not I think. These are people I know. Their men aren't demanding submission. A lot of times the women in these relationships are feminists, right? And as much as they try to say in the Black community that Black women are feminists, it's just not according to the definition and the general function of being a feminist. So, but yeah, great questions. I've dealt with a mammy that was African. She was really you know, people, well, let's not get into, you know, ratchet diaspora wars, but, you know, we've definitely discussed that, you know, this is something that it happens both ways, and it has a lot to do with division. The purpose is to divide, right? And we don't have to do that here. Everyone's culture is respected here, you know, but people were disrespecting my culture, right? My ethnicity, as a Black American for a few moments there. And I had to deal with that. And I've never done that to anyone else. And I found that bizarre. But I think as we get to know and learn each other, okay, we can put all of that stuff to rest and join as a diaspora, join as a nation, join as a community, join as families, and get ready, like we talk all the time on this channel, for the alien invasions, okay? Over here, we get ready for the alien invasions. Yeah, exactly, Rachel. You know, like It definitely goes both ways. When people are hurt, it's the same thing with the gender war, the diaspora war, right? People are hurt and people want to lash out on who they can lash out on instead of the real enemy. And that's not something that I do. I'll lash out on the real enemy quick. You know what I'm saying? But on my channel, unity is important. It's just important to me. I just believe in that. All right? I'm Afro-futuristic with that. I see a future for us that is great. And it involves all loving and respecting each other. And we can do that. I do it with my kids all the time. You know, my students. And I know it's possible for the adults, you know. Scarcity mindset. You said it right there, Rachel. Pick-me's are why there is no sisterhood among the sisters. I've seen some pretty intellectual Black women hit the pick-me switch when the Black male gaze is involved. Well, Cosmo's, she's a big fat, in a whole wide world. She's a mean old, she's a bitch. Boys and girls. Okay? I really mean it. That's a South Park thing. If you guys don't know it, that's fine. That's fine. But well, you spoke on that, Andrea. And that is facts. I can't stand. I've had men on this show. I've interviewed male guests. They've been nothing but respectful because you're going to be nothing but respectful on my show. It's not going to never switch. It's not going to never switch over here, boo-boo. And that is crazy to me, to be watching these women that are saying, oh, I'm here for other Black women. We're here for you. And as soon as a dude gets involved, they sit up there, they flip the switch. They flip the switch. This is what I'm talking about. You got to be mindful of listening to these women. We're trying to befriend women like this. You can't befriend a woman that's trying to appease to multiple men. Now, I can see if she fell in love, if she's trying to get one. But you just sitting out there just changing your whole personality in the hopes that a dude will look your way. Sad. I'm sorry, but I deal with them looking my way, okay? I don't try to get them to look my way. I have to deal with it, all right? It's a difference. It's a difference. In urban cities in Kenya, women pay the bills. They go 50-50 and still do unpaid work. Hiring a nanny is quite affordable, but many husbands refuse to eat food cooked by a maid, so you have to come and cook. Wow, really? Wow, so are you Kenyan, Rachel? Wow, these dudes are out of control. They're out of control. So I guess they must be talking to the Dusties here must be talking to the ones over there, right? Unbelievable. And then a pick-me will say, you have to come and you have to, it doesn't matter that the maid is there and she cooked the meal. You have to leave work early. You have to convince your boss to let you off work so you can come cook for him because he is the head and you are the toenail. He deserves, right? Jeez. Now I wonder, are the pick-me's in Africa as popular as the pick-me's in America? Because I feel like American pick-me's are, they make good money. They make good money saying what these men want to hear and living their life the way these men want them to live it. I just wonder if they'll ever get a man doing that, a real man. I don't think they will. Real love. I'm searching for a real love. Okay? Sorry, Sun Goddess, sorry. YouTube is, I'm not even seeing it. That's crazy. Because it's like, why would you delete it? At least show me so I can decide if I want to approve it. Jeez. Yeah. I'm sorry, Sun Goddess, sorry. But thanks for being here. Hey, fashion texture, what's up? Welcome. Oh, I'm sorry, Sun Goddess Ari. Jeez. Maybe you should make a video or something, or send me an email. My email is available. So if you have something that you want me to read, send me an email. Okay, and I can definitely do that. All right, so pick-me's will complain about men that they never intend to leave all the time. That's really annoying because it's like, why are you complaining about it? Like, do you want help? Or no, they just want you to listen because their whole life revolves around if they have a man, getting a man, keeping a man, right? And so to them, it's conversation that they talk incessantly about some guy. Like, I don't care, sis. I don't care. Fix your relationship or leave me alone because I don't want to hear about the dysfunction. I don't. But that's what pick-me's will do. They think their dysfunctional relationship is worth wasting your time talking about something. This is us having a conversation. No, it's you blowing off steam about your dysfunctional, crusty, broken relationship, right? And that's not interesting to me. And I've noticed that these pick-me women, what they'll do with me, right, in my personal life, if I was annoyed with something that like my husband did, for example, right? Like I'd be like, oh, he won't take out the garbage or whatever, right? These pick-me women would be like, at least you have a husband, right? Like they're like, you don't get to complain because you have what I'm looking for. Like, okay, after you get it, there's still things that happen after you get the man and get the house and get the car. Life's still not perfect. I have a right to talk about my top tier issues. So again, very annoying trying to have any type of relationship with a pick-me woman because they don't like women. I don't know if you guys noticed that. They don't like women. That's why they've joined on board with the men. But again, they're trying to tell women, oh, no, I'm here for you. I'm trying to help you improve your life. It's very clear these women do not like other women. It's very clear. They'll only work with women that think just like them. So the only people that you have to learn something from are people just like you. That's how you learn. That's how you grow. No, it's not. That's why I've always interviewed various different people from various different backgrounds on my channel. But pick-me's don't do that. It's always the same people. Yes, I'm Kenyan. It is 100 times worse for Black women in Africa. Pick-me's are so popular. They are even hired to give speeches during weddings. What? A foolish woman destroys her house. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. I would be over there rolling my eyes into oblivion. Oh, Lord. And you know what? I noticed that, too, when I talk to, like, older Black women. I'll be like, and my husband, he ain't doing this and he ain't doing that. And they'll be like, you got to calm down. You best calm down because the man is the head. They be terrified, like, oh, like it said Candyman or something. Like, I didn't say Candyman. I'm just complaining about a guy, right? Isn't that what we should do? Every now and then, men complain about us. They go to the barbershop, they complain, right? I used to be a waitress. They come to the diners, they come in the restaurants, they complain about their wife. Okay, that's what men do. Why can't women have a little bit of complaint? We got to do a lot of work with these guys, right? But these older Black women here in America, they do not want to hear it. They're like, oh, hush your mouth now. They put their finger to their mouth, hush. Like, hush? What is going on? Like, and especially if they're religious, right? Lord, and I know Black people are pretty religious in Africa, if I'm not mistaken. I'm Liberian, West Africa. My mom worked 3 jobs, cooked, cleaned, took care of yard work, always looked her best, and proclaimed that is what expected to get married. Right, exactly. Welcome, Liberia. Thank you guys so much for being here. Please like and thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Really appreciate you guys. Yeah, because one thing about Black women too, like and you gotta look good on top of it, right? And I know I'll be sometimes I realize like I'm stressed out because I've been, doing my job. I got a lot of, little hustles that I'm doing for myself. And then I got to take care of the home. I've got to take care of our pets. I got to take care of my husband. I have to cook the meals that we eat. We stopped ordering out a lot when this pandemic hit. So, I'll be like, I'm doing a lot. And I'm trying to, and it got to look good. Like, come on. Like, whoo. We get up every morning and run. And it's a lot. It's a lot that, trying to be the perfect wife, the perfect woman, right? And that's another reason why I'm here. Is like I'm trying to tell you guys, like, I'm happy in my marriage. Me and my husband, we've been through a lot. We're doing pretty well right now. And I've had to learn a lot along the way, but I didn't have to sacrifice an education. I didn't have to answer to his every whim, I did a Patreon video. If you're interested in my Patreon, go ahead and take a look. I have a lot of great content there that I can't really bring here because people steal my content, and I'm not with that. You can shout me out, but you can't just outright be stealing my content. So I put a lot of my great content on Patreon. And I realized as I was editing a video, I was like, I kind of snapped at my husband there. And I went and I apologized to him. And I was like, I was upset about something else that was about like Hurricane Ida, like wreaked destruction in the New York City area. And we didn't get out unscathed. I was upset about having to deal with a lot of that stuff. And I was snapping about something else, right? Instead of just making it clear to him that I'm upset about this. It's not easy for Black women. Look, my white girlfriends are like, just tell him, just say, when you do this, it hurts me like that. I'm like, I said, girl, what? Right? I'm ready to, right? Get all hyped and stuff. I've had to learn. And I'm here to tell you, I can help you guys do that. Because I learned how to do it. I learned how to speak more softly to my husband. You can learn how to do that. You can learn how to be softer without foregoing an education, without feeling like who you are isn't good enough. And that's what my channel's here for. I can actually help you with the purple print. I can actually help you get a man. Because it worked for me. And like I said, they want to say, oh, because of pretty privilege. Cut it. It was education privilege, using my brain privilege. Life is a lot more strategic than looking pretty. Okay? I know a lot of people want to use that as an excuse for why they don't have everything they want in life. But you don't always get everything you want in life. And maybe you get it all, but you can't get it all at once. You got to understand that and have some grace and patience with your blessings. Amen. My husband is one of the greatest blessings in my life, without a doubt. It didn't come easy, baby. I remember talking to a guy friend of mine, and I was telling him, the first time that I lost weight, because I was always heavy set and I worked hard to lose weight and I lost a lot of weight. I've done that a few times. I'm on it again, trying to lose this weight again, and I'm going to. And no, I'm not going to use any surgeries. I know surgery's the wave, but baby, I'm out there running. We have a home gym set up. I'm lifting weights. I'm doing squats. It's going to be natural. I don't trust these hospitals, baby. It is what it is. I'll let them do their job, but if I don't have to be in the hospital, I'm not going to be there. Elective surgery is not something that I'm going to play around with. I'll do the work. I got shin splints. I got all sorts of pain and problems, but I believe in putting in the work. And I think that your body looks better when you work out, period, not surgery. And I'm aiming to prove it again. and I can help y'all through that. You know what I'm saying? But y'all don't have to listen to these pick-me's telling you to hate yourself and that you're not good enough because you're overweight and have a degree. Because them doing what these dudes want to the T, that has to help them get a man. All right, I'm about to get off of here. Let me finish up you guys' comments. Way too many. Exactly. And, it breaks my heart to hear women talking about our moms put up with it and our grandmas and our great grandmas. These women often died early. These women had severe health problems. These women suffered abuse, infidelity, so that you could pop around online talking about something. Grandma did it. Grandma did it. Did grandpa do it? Did grandpa do it, or was it just grandma? Come on now. My grandpa, very tall, dark-skinned black man from South Carolina. I mean, he's black as night. My great-granddaddy, South Carolina. My great-grandmother she's biracial. My great-grandmother was Native American and black. She was lighter skinned, fair skinned, right? My great-grandfather, they got divorced later in life. He would come over to visit, and my grandma would be like, get out of my pots, right? She'd be like, get out of my pots. She didn't let him go running through the pots because he a man. Look, they were married, they got divorced. You can come over for dinner, but you got to follow my rules, baby. And that's one thing I always knew. This is my grandma's house. These are my grandma's rules. If I go over to grandpa's house, it's his rules. But my grandma don't live by my grandpa's rules. She don't make dinner for when he say what he wants. They're not married no more. He lost the good one. It is what it is. Right? And my grandmother was much happier living by herself. That's about something. Oh, you gonna die alone, die alone. My grandmother's family, we surrounded her talking about. Loved by everyone. What you talking about? I don't know about my grandpa, I'll be honest. But hey, the family's dysfunctional. That's not my job to keep up with everybody. I know about my great grandmama though. But y'all don't know what these women went through. So you could say, well, my parents were married. And my daddy was a deadbeat. He's still alive. Like I said, he deserves Deadbeat of the Century Award. She said, hi, Danie. I took the survey. I answered yes. They can pull the men they desire because they don't desire much, if anything at all. So, yes, they get the lack of respect and reciprocity they're looking for. Yo! Okay? And then we sit up there, you jealous because I'm not jealous of being, look. Okay? You can't be run through when the game is being ran through. Everybody know you bopping. The whole hood know you fair play. That little change that he throw you away, I spend that shit every day. Okay? Okay? Ain't nobody jealous of a bop. All right? What? Even the Night King. I'll be gentle and call him the Night King. Even the Night King says it. We judge by marriages over here. We judge by wedding rings. None of these pick-me's have that. I do. Okay? But again, I don't judge women based on you married or blah, blah. I don't care about none of that. All I care about is, hey, I know a little something. Let me put people on. Whether you went to college or not, whether you fat or not, you can always work on yourself. to get whatever you want. But you're absolutely right, fashion texture, right? They don't expect much, and they get it. They get a new gold hoop earrings or some sneakers sometimes, right? Right. Sometimes. I think a lot of them want to be baby mamas, again, not single mothers, baby mamas, and they end up being baby mamas because that's what they want. There's too many. You know, I'll be honest. I went to PWIs, and they didn't like them when I was in school. I don't know, but maybe it changed. But when I was in school, kindergarten through grad school, especially like when I started going to grad school in New York, right? Because the street harassment that white women made a lot of videos about, being like, we don't like this street harassment, so we're going to put it on blast. Black women have been dealing with that street harassment for decades. Never put it on blast. Never put it on blast. Wasn't even a discussion. We just tolerated it. We just tolerated it. Being 12 years old and having these creepy, nasty pervs hollering on the corner. Trying to make you a baby mom when you were a teenager. Trying to ruin your life. Literally trying to ruin your life. Anyways, you know, these Beckys put them on blast in New York. They didn't like that ish. I told y'all before, a lot of what y'all tolerate in the BC, nobody else will tolerate that ish. And y'all know that, right? That's why it's always conversations about how, oh, look at Megan, Sierra, and Normani dancing in front of all those white people. So it's good enough for y'all, but you know better when you get around white people. What's up? What's up? Love yourself. But anyways, these girls would be like, why are these guys always hitting on me? Like, gross. I'm just being honest. That's what they would say. They're like, ew, like, why do they always hit on me? Just because I have a butt? You know, it was always the shapely to overweight ones. They know not to mess with the fit ones, so I don't care what they say. By the time they hollering at these Beckys, the Beckys are 20 to 30 pounds. They weigh 20 to 30 pounds more than what most other Beckys weigh. Put it that way. Put it that way. I'm one of the very few girls that really like women. Yeah, you know, I used to watch Dawson's Creek. It is what it is. You know, Dawson's Creek opened the door when I was growing up. Well, maybe it's just the one that you're interacting with. Because, again, I don't know any Asian girls that are into black guys whatsoever. But that's just me. Okay. Gotta put in that work. Hi, Melanie Sunshine. Yeah. We've had a good discussion about these Pickmes. My parents have been married for 40 years. My mom is miserable. Oh my gosh. Can you imagine? 40 years. 40 years. Woo, you got about one day. If my husband don't act right, I'll be like, you got one day. You got one day. Fix it. You figure it out. Figure it out. Let's have a conversation. Let's do the work. But I'm not here for the misery. I'm not here for that. You know, my husband is, you know, very great with like working with me and listening to me. But a lot of women get these guys who they have this antiquated notion of what marriage is, and they can't be convinced of anything else. You can't tell them anything. You can't tell them I'm unhappy. You can't tell them, you know, anything about any element of the married life, because in their mind, you're a woman, you're to submit. And that's what I'm talking about. That's a miserable life that these pick-me's are trying to lead other women into when they don't even understand the implications of it because they're not married. Insane. Well, you know what? I've never seen it. I've never seen it. But you know, I'll be honest. I observed in undergrad. There was this Becky that, like, there was a couple of Beckys that, like, they enjoyed getting run through because that's what's gonna happen. They're not taking y'all on dates, so y'all was getting they was getting run through. And you know, I was chilling with the dudes that they was getting run through by because I'm black and I'm, you know, friends with black people. So I was friends with these dudes and they were getting run through and they was talking about them and shit. And I was trying to help these girls out. I was like, look, they thought I was jealous. They thought I was jealous because these dudes talking about some, oh, they don't like black girls. Yeah. All those dudes already tried to sleep with me. They knew they couldn't get me. So that's why they went after y'all. And I'm telling y'all that they laughing at you and embarrassing you. But you think that I'm jealous? There's nothing. So anyways, bottom line was I observed from these women that didn't mind being run through that they thought anyone trying to tell them that they were embarrassing themselves was jealous. They don't want to listen. And they didn't want to be friends with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, they did not want to be around a girl like me. I constantly got into fights with them because I could feel the racism. A lot of these women are very anti-black, period. Period. And you know, they didn't want to be around me. So, oh well, boop, bye. Bye. I don't want to be around a ran through. Where's all that noise? Get out of here. Anyways, I don't want to be around no ran through thotical. Anyways, I'm gonna be straight up honest. Women that are ran through are very miserable women, very bitter. They thought that allowing men to run through them was going to lead to marriage and a ring, and it didn't. And that's why I believe a lot of them brought their asses online to become pick-me's to try to see if that would work. And it won't work, just like allowing them to run through you didn't work. It is what it is. Of course, you can do what you want. Liberation, I believe in it, baby. I believe in it. Do whatever you want. But don't pretend like people are jealous of you because you got ran through, sweetie. Cut the cat. That's not how society functions. In society, just like Kevin Samuel says, it's the rings, it's the marriages that matter. The good ones. Not ones where you're putting up with a bunch of ish and you're lying to yourself. No, nobody cares about that. Manifest the relationship you desire and deserve. Manifest that. And to manifest that, you have to put in the work. You can sit and wish for it all day. But it's not going to happen. A lot of these pick-me's, you know, they'll go, they won't wear makeup. They'll only wear natural hair and or natural weaves. Let's not get it twisted. They don't care if the wig is a natural wig or weave. They care if it's straight. Who the hell are you to set parameters for me, bro? I don't know you. Who cares what you think? Who cares what you like? Who cares? Generally, in this society, people like long hair. Not everybody's going to cater stuff to you for what? I would encourage you, if you're trying to get a man, to focus on the specific man that you're interested in. Not pleasing a bunch of guys in cyberspace. That's so bizarre and weird, and it's never worked. Yeah, you said it's okay. Well, you on the ground. Some guys already. You're young lady, so I believe that. I guess it's changed now. Interesting. Well, you know, it's always been very clear since I was your age, Sun Goddess Ari. It's always been very clear that America is moving into a diverse society where the average person will be like a light brown. The average person, like, so that means the majority of the people, they're not going to be white the way the majority of the people in America are now. They're going to be light brown, right? And that only happens when people start to mix and meld. So it is what it is. That's literally anyone that knows anything about anthropology and demographics knows that this is what America is going to be made up of, by like 2050 or something. Majority light brown skinned people. So, people have to mix and meld at some point for that to happen. And there's plenty of places all around the world where people come in one shade, right? But again, I've said this before on this channel, people have to deal with the reality that that's what happens in America. And a lot of places that are more diverse, right? People mix and meld. So we shouldn't, spend all of our time trying to figure out how that's not going to happen. A lot of people on the internet spend a lot of time trying to figure out how they can stop that from happening. You're not going to stop it from happening. So it is what it is. All you can do is live your life the way you want to, love yourself, marry the women that you want to be married to, stuff like that. So overall, the pick me mentality, right, is this trying to get male approval while also placing yourself over other women, right, by doing everything that these men claim to like, which what they claim to like is one thing, and what they actually like is another. Okay? People are attracted to opposite races, for example, especially men. Men are attracted to opposite races of women. I think the Moors prove that to y'all. I think the numbers of black men dating out in America proves that to everybody. Okay? And how fast and swift and ferocious they went about doing this, right? Soon as it wasn't illegal, baby. That's something they built. They built biracial America. I don't know what else they built, but they built biracial America. They built that. And as colorism would have it, a lot of those people are doing better than, right? Biracial people are, because of their proximity to whiteness, they're doing fairly well, right? Colorism is usually beneficial for the lighter skinned individuals of the group. That's what colorism is, right? So they built that for, all the biracial people that they wanted to make and have. And I believe that they've given more to their biracial family members than they've given to the black people. They've built more for biracials, than they have for black people. I'm sorry, but it is what it is. That's just what I believe. That's what I see. And don't tell me to build it, because I'm not doing a man's work. A woman's work. You understand? Okay. I'll do a woman's work. I'm not doing a man's work. You'll go without it. You'll go without it. If you don't want to build it, it's not going to be done. Y'all going to learn the hard way. I see a lot of times these women will like speak in a certain way to get these males' approval, because the whole point is that you don't look like you're trying to be better than them. Look, I'm not trying to be better than anybody, but it is what it is. If that's what you feel, that's your problem. You don't change how you behave because somebody else is feeling a certain way. That's their problem. It sounds like a personal problem. So because these pick-me's do that, they want other people to live like that. It's very sad. A lot of pick-me's are still in the hood. They're still in the hood. If they're married, they are the breadwinners. Okay? So I don't even understand why would you listen to a pick-me? For what? I understand why the men listen to them, because they want to live in La La Land. And they pay them well to live in La La Land. They pay them well. But why would you as a woman listen to them? You can't seriously think you're going to get anything from these pick-me's who are putting any type of man on a pedestal. Okay? Over here, we work in the art of strategy. Okay? Strategicness is the name of the game. All right? Finesse. Not lowering yourself. And that doesn't mean that you all about the bag, because I'm telling you to go to school. And if you can't find that guy, then you're going to have to take care of yourself. Because what you going to do? Settle? Never that. Never that. I took care of myself my entire life before my husband came into the picture. Nobody else took care of me. I raised myself. I got those degrees surviving homelessness. I'm not going to forget who I am and all I've accomplished so you could be the head. It don't work that way. And I don't care what mama say, what grandma say, what the community say. I don't care. I don't care. Because a lot of those people that want to say, they're not married. I've been with my husband 11 years. That's more than some women's combined relationships. Combined relationships. That's more time. Investing into my relationship. Investing into working with the man that I'm with, right? So you want to focus on that, who you are, so you can focus on the person that you want to attract into your life. A dusty, fashion, you said it great. These dusties don't care who they get. They don't care who they hurt. They just want a man. And you know who pays the price? Family, the children, the women that have to listen to your BS all day. Okay, they pay the price. All right, I'm going to wrap it up and finish off with you guys' comments. Thank you so much for listening and being here, you guys. Don't forget to subscribe and thumbs up the video. What? Oh, you know what? That must be from TikTok. That must be for TikTok. I bet you when they go home, they ain't talking that ish. I bet you. You know what? Because there wasn't no TikTok. There wasn't no social media. So I'll be honest, and I've had a lot of people who went to school with me feel a type of way about the fact that I called it out. It is what it is. None of you motherfuckers was anti-racist. Everybody was racist. And they mad. These people mad because they the liberals. They were racist. Everybody was anti-racist. It was very much like, why is there a BET? These are the conversations that white people will have with you. They were not trying to be on some teach me a TikTok dance. Okay? They were not. Okay? I was telling my husband, when I was in school, it was very clear that no one had any problems but Black people in America, like Black and Native Americans. It was very clear that no one else had any problems. This was many years ago. And so especially not the dominant society. They didn't feel like they had any problems. They didn't complain about much. They didn't. All they wanted was more, more, more. So if you complained about racism, they would be like, shut up. It's not true. It doesn't exist. I was told in grad school by liberals, Obama's the president, but they don't like me. Okay, well, you guys were the ones that were racist. So you don't have to like me. But what kind of bullshit is that to say to a Black student? After you said something racist, say, shut up, Obama's the president. So these people were racist when I was in school because there was no social media, there was no accountability. You couldn't call them out for being racist. Now, because they can be called out for being racist, now all of a sudden, well, at least they want to F you, right? Oh, they want to F you. That don't mean either, because they don't want you to have reparations. I've talked about on this channel before. People in interracial relationships, y'all white partners got to do a hell of a lot more than they doing, baby, for y'all to be sitting up there flossing and flexing. Flossing and flexing. Y'all don't demand nothing from y'all white partners. But then you'll get these YouTube content creators with their family channels, their little interracial family channels, where they use their kids to make a coin. And they use their kids so they don't have to go out and get a real job. I don't care. That's what I see. I don't like watching those channels. A lot of dysfunction. These couples never talk about the impact of race and racial relations and racism in America until they're in a store, right? They're in it until it's a hot topic because it's trending and everyone has to say something about it. That's the only time that these Black people in these interracial relationships say anything. Or if they're in a store and someone is racist to them, then all of a sudden they're like, oh my God, you guys, I never talk about racism, but like, oh my God, like it happened to me. It happened to me. Maybe it happened to you because your ass don't talk about race and racism and how things impact you in this country, and you're sitting riding on La La Land fumes. But hey, that's just me. That's just my thought. But then they want to come over here and go, oh, you bootleg. I don't bootleg nobody. Anybody around me, you're going to be on my agenda. I'm not going to be on yours. Now, me and my husband respect each other. And respect goes a long way. But we don't do that. You know, everybody's racist and everybody. We don't do all that over here. We deal with how society functions. And how society functions is if you're at the top of society and you're so proud to be at the top of society, then be proud to take the accountability for how you're oppressing other people to be there. Period. I teach a lot about that on this channel. I talk a lot about that. Other people in interracial relationships don't talk about that. They don't care. They're just happy for that white proximity. They're like, oh my God, white proximity. I don't give a fuck. I grew up around white people my whole life. They want to be around me. It's not the other way around. So it is what it is. I don't want to be around nobody, to be honest, because I'm an introvert. But I'm a demisexual and a sapiosexual. That means I gotta like you and you gotta be smart. Why you ain't date the dudes in your neighborhood? Because I wasn't in the neighborhood. That's why. I lived in the hood, and then I took the subway to grad school in Manhattan. And I'm going to stay in Manhattan. Why would I come back to the hood when I could stay in Manhattan all day? So these pick-me's are out here telling you can't even love yourself. You can't even love yourself. No, if you want the attention of this guy, right, you have to act like this and wear this and do this. And come on. It's pathetic. All right, let me finish up on you guys' comments. Oh, okay. Naima Buckner, hey, what's up? Welcome. Welcome. Thank you for joining. I appreciate the super chat. Thank you so much. I don't even reckon, I'm like, what is this? I get it every now and then. I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate you. Let's see. I'm not gonna be able to catch up on all you guys' comments because I gotta get going, but I'll try to catch the last few. Okay. You know what? I used to feel that way. And don't get me wrong, I've worked in places where it was like, what's the point of having other black people around when they sit up here trying to adhere to this anti-black agenda so they can be the only black people that work here. A lot of black people will do that, I noticed, And I started feeling like, you know what, I actually would love a solid, good other black person in the space with me. But you don't always get that. Sometimes you'll be doing the Wakanda forever and they sitting there looking at you like, what the hell? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just not everybody's on that. And so, there's definitely, I'm sensing more and more a lack of community when it comes to, being in spaces with other black people. I'm noticing a lack of community. And someone said earlier, right? There's like these women that want to talk about sisterhood, but they don't want to offer sisterhood, but they demand sisterhood and expect sisterhood, right? They want y'all to be there to rep for them and have they back. But they're not there for y'all. They don't have y'all back. They're not helping y'all do nothing. It gets to a point where y'all just gas up a lot of these content creators' heads, and a lot of them they'll spend the whole life just flexing on you, just talking about what they got that you ain't got. I've heard it. I'm like, damn, well, unfortunately, you're not impressing me because everything you're talking about having, I've had that as well. So it wasn't a flex for me, but I'm noticing like, well, most people don't get to experience that, especially black people, and y'all just flexing on them and stuff. Like, I don't like that. So I don't mind if it's a good black person in the space, okay? But if it's gonna be one of these black people that is just looking to sell you out and stereotype you so that they can be the only black person in the space, that's when obviously it's like, oh, it's not worth having another black person in the space. You just might as well be the only black person in the space at that point, because I can handle myself, but I don't need to be trying to handle dealing with racism and misogyny and classism. It's a lot. It's a lot. Tulsa? Oh, you went to Tulsa, Melanie? Awesome. Cool, awesome. Queen Cascade, welcome. I know to many elder black women forced when they were young into marriage. Yes. 30, 50-year marriages who are unhappy. Yes. I refuse to go that unhappy path. Thank you, Queen Cascade. Thank you. My great-grandmother married my great-grandfather when she was 14 years old. 14 years old. She supposed to give her whole life to this man? Cleaning and cooking up after him? And he was like 16. They got married early back then, right? But what these women have had to endure, and we'll talk more later about the developmental delay that you need to watch out for when it comes to picking a partner, right? Because we talk about red flags and how do you see the red flags, and I'm very good at picking up red flags based on the developmental delays that people have, right? If they don't respond appropriately to situations, right? I played last live that we did. I played the video of the 6'4" hall monitor that slapped a kid, punched a kid in his shoulder, a seventh grader who was half his size, probably a fourth his size, to be honest, if you're talking about weight. This was a developmentally delayed man who should not be in the presence of children. And women are trying to make marriages work with men who are developmentally delayed. That's why it's so important to vet. Look, getting male attention is not that difficult. But figuring out which males to give attention back to, that's what we focus on over here. We don't do that scarcity mindset-ish. It's plenty of fish in the sea. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, there are. Plenty of fish in the sea. We talk about how to figure out which men to invest your time into. Because we already know the dust, let the dust settle. Let the dust settle. And then you choose a man. But you gotta let the dust settle first. All right? There's gonna be a lot of dusties around you. Let the dust settle. And you'll find a good man after the dust settles. All right. I absolutely adore you guys. And thank you so much for joining me. Be looking out for more lives this week. I'm definitely going to be around. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Mwah!